I'm Amber Davies, and this is your 5-minute call. This is the space where musical theatre takes centre stage. From unforgettable backstage stories with incredible special guests to insights from my life and my theatre journey. We're leaving it all on the mic every single week, so let's jump in. I have a very, very, very good friend on the couch today. She has worked what feels like for 1,000 years. It's the incredible Caroline Sheen. So next to me, I have the kindest woman I have ever had the pleasure of working with. It's my very good friend, Miss Caroline Sheen.
Kindest? What a lovely thing to say.
Yeah, you are the kindest.
Oh, I'm glad I'm the kindest.
You are.
You don't see the things I do in my house.
No.
though. I'm horrible.
But I'm glad. I'm glad, because to me, you were the kindest.
Oh, thank you.
But thank you for coming on here. I know you're super busy at the minute.
Well, super busy doing nothing. There's a song about that, isn't there? So I'm busy doing nothing. Yes, I'm not doing much at all, but getting paid for it, which is quite nice.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Can I ask you firstly, just to
Yes.
kickstart, what's your pre-show ritual?
Okay. Bizarrely, I'm quite a superstitious person.
Love
But
that.
in the theatre, I'm not massively superstitious. Like, there are rules. Obviously, you don't say the name of the Scottish play backstage and you don't whistle, things like that. But that's the only thing. It's the pre-show ritual is more things I don't do rather than
Okay.
things I do.
Well, that's a new perspective
But-
we've had.
The one thing I do is whatever show I do, I will always choose a perfume for that character.
We've had one of them
We had
today.
them already? No way.
Yeah.
Well, I started that trend. I'm sure whoever it was younger than me, so clearly it's come from my trend.
Have you done that with every character?
Every single part I've ever played, yeah.
Do you
Even when I was
remember?
like my first job when I was Marty, I understudied Rizzo and Sandy, and I had like a different perfume for Rizzo and Sandy. as well. Yeah,
I love
yeah.
that.
Every part I've ever played.
So when
Name
you
a part, I'll tell you what perfume I picked.
Mary Poppins.
It was So Magic, Miracle, Lancôme.
I love that. And I can imagine when you smell it now, it takes you back to that moment in
Yeah,
life.
I think it's discontinued with spit gutting, but yeah.
What about Sandy, when you went to play Sandy?
Allure Chanel.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I keep some of them, so there's some of them are still on my shelf. So every now and then, if I want to feel like a successful actress, if I'm out of work, I'll go, oh, I'll put a
stack 'em
perfume
up.
on from one of the jobs I really enjoyed and feel like successful again.
And do you do that with your television work as well?
I don't. No.
Okay, so it's just theatre.
yeah, I think with telly, because sometimes the jobs are quite short, you don't get time to have that recognition of the familiarity
Yeah.
of the smell. But I do. So like if we're in tech, I will, one of my sort of mornings off or something, I'll go to the local like fragrance shop
And
and choose a perfume.
Put something on.
Yeah.
I love that. So, Caroline, you're currently
Yes.
back at the Savoy.
Back at the Savoy where
So,
we started.
Yes.
Everybody.
So just for context for our listeners, Caroline and I worked together back in 2018. It was my West End debut. I think it was your 100th show. It was Caroline's.
Tea everywhere.
It was Caroline's 100th show. You originated the role of Violet,
Yes.
and I originated the role of Judy Burnley, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
That was like 6 years ago.
That's crazy. It doesn't feel that long ago to me,
No.
but that's probably because I'm old. Does it feel like ages ago to you? You're like way back.
No,
when.
do you know what I remember Flora. So Flora is Caroline's daughter. She's beautiful. I remember her being really young
Yes.
when we did 9 to 5.
Yeah, she was like 5 or 6. Yeah. She was
And then,
little.
when did I bump into her last?
Oh.
On the street.
Yes, that's
I
right.
was on
yeah.
the street.
Yeah.
And
Oh, look, we came to see Back to the Future. That's when
oh,
we saw it.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. You came to see Back to the Future. And I was like, why is she a teenager?
Yeah, because that's like half her lifetime ago.
Yeah.
So for her, that's a really long time.
That's how I
yeah.
knew that
Yeah.
it was a while that we had
Yeah.
worked together.
Yeah. Because to me, it feels like I was in it. Were you still on the tour when the pandemic hit?
Just
Or
to
did it
come
finish?
off. Just to come off.
And I'd just come out of the show, and the show was still going on, but I wasn't in it. So there was like 4 weeks left till the pandemic hit. So luckily, I felt like I got a bit of closure because I
Yeah.
left the show. And 4 weeks later, there's people going on stage not knowing it was the last time they were going to do it.
Oh, don't, because that makes me so sad.
Yeah.
And you are currently covering Sarah Jessica Parker.
I am.
In the Plaza Suite. So you cover Karen, Muriel, and Norma.
Yeah. So she plays 3 different characters.
Give us some context.
There are 3 acts in the play, and the acts are both about marriage, relationships, things like that. The first act is a couple celebrating their anniversary and trying to sort of rekindle their love for each other.
Okay.
Doesn't go particularly well. The second act is a high school sweetheart reunion, which is really cute. I really enjoy that one. That's really comedy. And each act gets funnier as well. So by the third act, it's like full out farce. It's mother and father of the bride trying to get their daughter out of the bathroom, who's decided she doesn't want to get married on her wedding morning.
Okay, brilliant.
So that gets crazy. So it's a lot to learn because it's basically a 2-hander. There are other characters in it, but they are on the whole time, beginning to end. And
how long is the show on for?
It's only on for like 3 more weeks.
No, as in time.
Oh, time, 2.5 hours.
Oh
yeah,
my
2 hours, 20,
gosh.
2 hours, 20 minutes. And it's a really funny Neil Simon play. And what I really enjoy about it is because obviously I've done a lot of musicals.
Yeah.
And it's nice. You get laughs and you get maybe in a scene, you'll get like 4 or 5 laughs in a scene and then suddenly you're in a song.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, it's a whole act. So the whole act goes from beginning to end and you're just on this sort of wave of laughter the whole time. So it just keeps coming. There's no stopping and applauding. So that's a really different experience for me and I'm really enjoying it. I'm talking like I've been on, but only in as much as they did a cover run recently that I could invite people to. So
and I love that they did that.
I'm so thrilled they did it because it meant I got all my family and friends in to watch. And that was a really nice thing to do. And, you know,
tell me what you said before. What did it feel like?
It was weird because obviously when you're in a show, people come across the course of the contract to see you. And with this one, obviously everyone, if they could make it, they came to that one show. So it was a cross between an opening night because the nerves are there because you've never done it on stage before.
Yeah.
And like your wedding day because all your family and friends are there. And, you know, afterwards it's like you're the host of this like party saying hello to people from across your whole life, you know.
But I'm so glad because you've learned all the material.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you did that.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll go on? What's your gut feeling telling you?
Oh, absolutely not. I don't think I will. No. And I don't really want to.
No?
That sounds really, you know, people are like, of course you must want to go on. If I go on, I know I'll enjoy it and I'll have a really good time as well as be absolutely terrified. But I know that the people that have come to see this, even like my best friends who've got tickets to see it, they're like, please don't tell me she's off. Because they want to see Sarah Jessica Parker. Of course they do. She's an icon. And, you know, this is probably going to be the only time she does a play in London. So, you know, it's a really special event. And I don't want to go on and sort of fill those shoes for those people that have come to watch it. You know, they'll still get Matthew Broderick, who's incredible.
And they get you.
And they get me. And, you know,
I'd rather watch you over Sarah Jessica Parker any day.
Thanks. I'll send you the money
Thank
later
you.
on.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
What is she like, Sarah Jessica Parker?
She's beautiful.
Is she?
Yeah. You know, and you kind of think, oh, you know, when somebody's on screen, they're so magnetic and engaging. And she's so likable, isn't she? I think that's what's lovely about her character in Sex and the City, is she just has this likability.
Yeah.
But you think, you know, they're on telly, they've got makeup, they've got hair people, but even in her rehearsal clothes, she's just stunning. She's like, I don't think there's any way that she would not have been famous.
Really? It was like she was born to be famous.
She looks like she's come from Planet Fame to join
us
on this,
I love that.
on this planet.
And is she like, did she exceed your expectations? Like when you had a conversation with her?
Oh, she's super friendly. And, you know, she's interested. And we've had a few conversations about being a mum in the business and, you know, schools and time management and all that, you know, boring stuff, really. But
normal stuff.
Normal stuff. You're not talking about, although we've had a few chats about like Barbra Streisand and things like that.
So have you asked like some questions?
Yeah. I did say, did you meet Barbra Streisand? Because we were all talking about her biography, which is like a huge chunk like that. And she had met her there. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. So,
well, talking about bios.
Oh God.
I just
my 100-year-long bio.
Do you know what? I'm just going to go and have a look online just so I don't miss anything. I've actually had to keep half of it out, but otherwise I'd be here all day rattling off the work and the jobs that Caroline has actually done. So I'm going to name a few.
I've probably forgotten a lot of them.
Like, honestly, how big is your bio? Is it a page?
Very personal question.
You know, like say you open when you go to the theatre and you open a page. Like, do you take a full page? Probably.
I don't know. It depends how big the print is, I suppose. Minimal, like terms and conditions print.
I was like, obviously I've known Caroline for years, and I was just like, why didn't I know she did half of this?
Do your research, girl. Do your research.
Some of the things I knew because we've spoken about it.
Yeah. Okay.
But just to name a few, you debuted as Marty in Grease.
Did.
That was your debut.
Yeah.
Then you played Florinda in Into the Woods.
Yes.
Stop right there.
Okay.
Is that why Flora's called Flora?
No. Flora's named after my great auntie, who I met when she was 96 and I was about 6. And her mum, who was my great-great-grandmother, was a lion tamer.
What?
I know. How cool is that? And I've got a picture of great auntie Flora when she was about 3 with baby lions.
Oh
around
my
her.
gosh, I love that.
Like a proper like old Victorian photograph and stuff. Yeah, she travelled to America with the company that Barnum set up, like the Wild
Oh
Beast show
my
thing.
gosh.
Yeah, and I just always loved.
I love the
Auntie
name Flora.
Flora was the name, so that's where that came from.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought I'd puzzled something together
Florinda,
there.
yeah, it's not far off.
Well, yeah, if you Florinda,
Flora.
Flora, yeah.
It's flowery.
Yeah. Next was the original cast of Mamma Mia, Casual.
Original
As
cast.
first cover Soph.
First cover Sophie. Got 25th anniversary in a couple of weeks. Going to the party. Thank you very much.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
Original cast of Mamma Mia. Like, not many people can say that. Original cast of Witches of Eastwick, originating the role of Jennifer.
Yes.
Casual. Eponine and Les Mis, and then returning as Fantine.
Dream part.
Not many people can say that either.
There's a few of us, I think, now that have done
Both.
Eponine and Fantine, yeah.
Is that like if you're if you're a big like caliber actress, then
Yeah.
you will do both?
I don't know. It's that thing of like, I think if you get to be the sort of profile at a young enough age to have played Eponine,
Yeah.
then you probably go back and do like a Fantine or like a Cosette and a Fantine. I think Lucy Jones was a Cosette.
Oh
and a
yes,
Fantine,
she was.
wasn't
She was indeed.
Yeah.
Then you went on to do Sandy in Greece,
Yeah.
and then Truly Scrumptious, Chitty at the Palladium. I didn't know
Palladium.
you'd ever done anything at Palladium.
I flew around the Palladium in a car. How
So
cool
was
is
Lauren
that?
Strout your little?
She was.
And now she's associate choreographer on
Is
the.
she really?
Yeah.
Oh, she's
on
doing
the.
so well.
I know.
She was my first night. She was on my first night as Jemima, and she'd been in the cast for a while because I took over in the second year.
Yeah.
And she just knew what she was doing. I was like, oh my God, I think she was 10,
Oh
10,
my
11.
god! And she's just non-stop work.
Yeah, and she just knew what she was doing. I thought, Blinkinette, you've got
Balls.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, even at that age.
And then Mary Poppins, which you loved, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
I remember you speaking about that
I
quite
still
a lot.
love it. You know, the movie, I could still put it on and watch
Yeah.
it. And I think with a job that you've done and a role that you've played, I don't think there's many people that would go, oh, I'm happy to sit and watch the movie of it.
Yeah.
You'd want to go, no, switch it off.
Yeah.
I'm done with that.
Trauma.
Yeah, but no, with Mary Poppins, I could sit and watch that movie
Over and
Andrews,
over again.
Over and over again, yeah.
City of Angels.
That's a story.
Emergency.
Emergency. I went on with the script in that one.
Please, can we dive into that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I begged and begged and begged for an audition for that.
Okay.
And finally got an audition and didn't get it, which was fine. For a different part, actually, not the part I ended up going on for. And when I went to see a very early preview, because I happened to be in London, because for some reason, I was staying in Wales at the time. And so I thought, I'll go and see it, because I love the show. And I've never seen it. I've only heard the soundtrack. And I ended up sitting in front of the director and the casting director.
Okay.
Just being slightly mortified. I'm like, here I am at like preview 3 going, oh God.
I got to
to
know, and I'm here.
Yeah. And I chatted to them in the interval, and they were lovely. And I was doing a workshop, and the next day we did the presentation of the workshop and stuff. And I checked my phone, and I had a message from the casting director from City of Angels saying, are you still in London? Would you be able to come over? And one of our leading ladies has got sick. She's got like norovirus or something. And would you be able to come over and maybe rehearse the show in case she's still ill tomorrow? And they were like, you've seen it. So I was like, yeah, once, seen it, go on, do it. So I did that. I picked up the script. She ended up not going off, and I didn't do the rehearsal. But a few weeks later, she got sick again, and I went in, rehearsed, and went on. And I still don't quite know how I did it. I went back and watched it then I did it twice. I went back.
So you
and
did two
watched- I did
shows?
2 shows, yeah. But I put it on my CV. I'm
Yeah,
not.
of course you are.
I'm not leaving that out.
No,
That's cool.
I mean that's pretty epic.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
definitely a story to tell.
Yeah.
But only one person would do that, and that's that woman.
It's like literally living the actor's nightmare.
Yeah, that is a
It
nightmare.
did stop them. It did stop those stress dreams where, you're on stage and you don't know what show you're in or what lines you're saying.
That's
Yeah.
so weird that you say stress dreams as well, because I literally
Yeah.
spoke about that earlier.
Really?
This is crazy. Kiss Me Kate,
Yes.
Crazy for You.
Yes.
Camelot was the most recent with your husband.
Yeah, so we did that as a kind of lockdown concert
Oh, wow.
at the Watermill. I've done a few shows at the Watermill, which is a wonderful, wonderful theatre in Newbury. And they do lots of actor-musician shows.
Yeah.
And in lockdown, they were really struggling because they're a tiny little theatre.
Yeah.
And they wanted to sort of do something as soon as possible. And they put together this production of Camelot, which was kind of like a concert, but they built a theatre in the grounds.
Oh my
Because the grounds
gosh.
are beautiful. There's like a stream and swans and trees. And so they built a theatre, a stage, and then it was when people had to go in groups of 4, and everyone had their little pods.
Yeah.
I think we could see maybe like 100 people every night, and we just did a sort of stage version. And because it was still like social distancing, Mike and I played Arthur and Guinevere, and we were allowed to like touch because we were in a bubble. So when we kissed on stage, we did add this line going, "It's all right, we're married in real life."
Yeah. Yeah.
Because people were like, "Oh."
And just for our listeners, so Mike Gibson is also a very, very successful actor.
Yeah, he's doing all right. He's in Stranger Things at the minute.
Stranger Things in the minute in town.
Yeah, prequel play that they've
I know,
done.
I am dying to see it.
Oh, you should. If you love the show,
I love the show.
you should go and see it. It's cool.
Really?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh,
But yeah, he's in that. And
Yeah, a power couple, if you just imagine that. Just,
So
I love
if
it.
that's what it looks like from the outside, then that's good because like on the inside, if you should see the house that I just left, the state of it. I mean, it's chaos.
I mean, you are the
chaos.
power couple in the industry.
You are.
Me?
You are. You're the
You
next
guys have been together
generation.
for years. That's what
You and Ben.
me and Ben always say. We want to be like you and Mike.
Oh, that's cute.
we do always say that.
Hey, there's a show, Isn't there a show like about an older married couple
And
and
a
a younger
younger.
couple, like Tomorrow Morning or something? We should do that.
we should do it.
Like little concert version. Get it done.
Get it done. Get us
Producers,
booked.
call us.
Please. Now it's time for a quick interval. Go and powder your noses, and we'll see you in 2. Obviously, I missed out 9 to 5, which we did together with
Oh, yeah, I
Natalie
remember that.
McLean. Yes. That doesn't include television work, film work, and concerts. But I'm sorry, my love, we just don't have time to cover
No
them.
time. There's been a lot of them as well. Not a huge amount of telly and film, but that's
Well,
all come a bit later.
And as well, it's more than I could count on 2 hands.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that it is.
I'm doing
Because
all right
I just
then.
didn't have the space.
Doesn't feel like that.
No, it is. It is.
Great.
Fantastic. When was your first television gig?
I was married, I think, or I was about to get married, so I was in my 30s. Because when I was training,
Yeah.
nobody really taught us how to do TV or anything. So
And you trained at Guildford?
trained at Guildford,
Yeah.
Guildford School of Acting. And now they teach it now and everything. But I didn't really know what I was doing in the auditions for it,
Yeah.
And it was in the days, because I'm that old, it was in the days before we filmed everything,
Yeah.
on our phones. And so you'd go in and you'd sit in an office and somebody would have a camera a bit like this and you'd go, okay. I remember one audition I had to go to and it was for Emmerdale or something like that. And it was like, I had to be a vet
Oh, God.
and deliver a lamb that had died. And I was just sitting on a sofa and I was like, and I don't know how to fake delivering a lamb sitting on a sofa, nowhere near a farm. But it was not only that, it was a dead lamb.
Oh, no.
And like one of the 3 lines I had in the scene was like, I'm sorry, June, he's dead. And I was just like, this is a lamb. Take it out of.
Oh
I
my
didn't know what
God,
I
did
was
you get
doing.
the job?
No, thank God. I'm quite glad. I don't know how that would look on the show reel.
Oh, my God. I want to see that footage so bad.
God, I hope it's been burnt. I hope it's crashed
It's the
and
fact you
burnt.
didn't even
somewhere.
get the job and you had to go through that trauma.
It was traumatizing. It was traumatizing.
Oh my gosh.
My
I'm
first
buzzing.
TV, that wasn't my first one. The first one was an episode of EastEnders where I had to be a stripper. And
not
I was
your
in an
call.
office, not really what I do, but I was in an office and I had to just sort of stand like a stripper. And I was like, I don't know how strippers stand. I'm sure they just stand like normal women,
Yeah.
you know. But
That is that is not your casting.
I think because I was, being a pink lady in Greece or something like that.
Got ya.
And strutting my stuff on stage. People thought maybe I could strut my stuff without any clothes on. But
Yeah.
obviously not any EastEnders. Obviously you'd have clothes on, but...
And can I just say, like, Caroline, like some of the conversations that we used to have at 9 to 5, you were mortified, weren't you?
I don't know what you mean.
I'd like, can I cross a boundary here and ask you some questions? And she'd be like, okay. Do you remember?
You opened my eyes to a lot of things, Amber. The world is changing.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh.
We had a lot of fun on that job, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We
It
did.
was so much fun.
It's like one of
I've
one of
just
the best.
realised I nearly tried to drink my microphone.
We've gone delusional.
I'm like, which one's my tea? I don't know what's going on.
What made you want to do the leap into television?
I think just knowing that I was getting to an age where I couldn't necessarily get away with playing Sandy anymore and things like that. I was getting into my 30s, and I think sometimes with musical theatre, you either play like a young Juve or then you play Mama Rose or, you play one of the older characters. So I knew I had to kind of try and push some boundaries and get in the room for some things that would keep me going while there was that kind of interim part of my career. And it has done that, it has sort of filled in a few gaps and helped me be able to sort of make more interesting choices and things like that. So,
and do you have the same love for television as you do theatre?
No, because, you don't get a big round of applause at the end of it.
No.
And that's the only reason I do it. And the costumes aren't as nice.
No.
I like dressing up.
It's more of a budget.
Yeah. I do. When telly is a fun job and you've got a really lovely cast and you're in it, you can sit in the show for a little while.
Yeah. Get comfortable.
And that's nice. Get comfortable in it and play a character. But a lot of the times you kind of, in the jobs I do, you go in and you're in it for 3 days and then you're off. So that's very much like turn up, say your lines, stand in the right spot and bugger off, So
Well,
that's
what's
not
been
as
your
much fun.
favourite TV gig then, would you say?
Ghosts. Do you watch Ghosts? Oh my God, Amber, you've got to watch Ghosts.
On what?
It's on BBC.
Okay.
It's on iPlayer. There's 5 seasons of it.
Okay.
And it's the gang from Horrible Histories.
Okay.
And they've written this sitcom called Ghosts. And it's...
Is it recently?
Yeah, literally they had their final episode on Christmas Day.
Okay.
And it was quite a big deal. But you've been very busy the last 5-6 years, so you probably don't watch evening television anymore. But yeah.
How many episodes are you in?
1.
Okay.
But it was one of those sitcoms that I really got into in lockdown. And it's so funny and it's so heartfelt and it's actually quite emotional at places. It's beautiful. And when I heard they were doing a 4th season, I rang my agent and I went, you have got to get me on this show. And she did.
Oh my gosh.
So that was really, I was very lucky. Yeah.
I love that you pushed for that and you were like, I must do this. I love it so
I just
much.
thought, if I don't at least ask, then I won't get, It's always worth asking.
That's my life rule.
Let people know what you want to do.
Yeah,
and see if
exactly.
it lands in you.
Exactly. I love that.
Yeah.
You're so successful and like you've had like the most wildest career.
People say, it's nice that I've done lovely, successful things, but there's a lot of times when I'm sitting doing nothing, waiting for the phone to ring, and that's hard,
So do you struggle in those times?
Yeah.
Especially now that you've got Flora.
Very much that I do kind of feel like part of me is defined by having a good job. And I wish that wasn't the case. And especially, when you get to sort of a more secure part of your life, you sort of think that shouldn't matter anymore.
No.
But it still does a little bit. If you don't have that part of you that feels fulfilled by something creatively. So yeah, that's a bit daft, isn't it? But
no, but
it's nice then jobs come along and
exactly.
And you sort of breathe
Do you
again a bit.
sometimes, the next time that you're in between jobs, do you feel like you might try and enjoy that time a little bit more?
Yeah, I think so. It's that thing of like, once you've done a job, the first kind of 2 or 3 months after that, you sort of go, oh, it's all right because I worked quite recently. And then sort of 8 weeks, 9 weeks later, you're like, okay, I'm ready to do something else now. Yeah.
But it does give you motivation and fire to go and get the next thing.
It does. And I do like sometimes the downtime is really good because you can go up for more telly.
Yeah.
Do more workshops. I do a lot of workshops, do concerts and things like that. So there's a bit more variety in the in-between times.
And what about the pressure? Obviously, you've been in the industry as Caroline and as a mum.
Yeah.
Like I can't even contemplate that feeling. Like we haven't had a mum on here yet, so I'd love to
Yeah, it's harder. It's a lot harder. I wouldn't have it any other way.
No, of
absolutely. But I do wish the industry was more adaptable for people who have got caring responsibilities, whether you're a mum, a dad, or you've got, parents at home that you need to look after, or kids you need to look after. I wish there was a bit more flexible working, Like, it was lovely with 9 to 5 because I kind of did a bit and then left and then came back. And that was almost like a job share, really.
Yeah.
So that's really nice. And I kind of think if there are more opportunities like that, I think sometimes, especially things like touring and jobs like that, they can be really prohibitive for people.
Because
with families.
I'm working with a woman called LJ now, and she's got, I think he's like 3 or 4, her son, and I just think she's doing amazing. She's away from her son.
She's on tour, yeah.
She's on tour with me, and I do think I'll have to make that decision how did you make the decision, okay, I'm going to have a baby now?
You're going to think this is the stagiest thing I've ever said to you now.
Go on.
I'd run out of parts I wanted to play. And I was like, okay, maybe this is the time I have a baby. Because when people go, well, what do you want to do next? I was always going, I wouldn't mind a crack at Fantine, or I wouldn't mind a crack at Mary Poppins or something like that. And then people I was playing Fantine, and they're like, what do you want to do next? And I was like, I don't know.
So you were fulfilled in your career?
Yeah, I think so. I kind of got to the place where I thought if I don't work again, then it doesn't matter.
I'd be happy with what I've done.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll be looking for that then.
Yeah.
Because there's still so many things that I want to do.
Of course
How old were you when you had Flora?
Oh, shush now. I'm an old mum, really, compared to the people in the school ground. I was sort of mid-30s.
But that is kind of what I'm aiming for.
Yeah, I think so. Because then, I'm really proud of the career I had up till then. And actually, I'm even more proud of the career I've managed to forge since then, because it is more tricky.
Yeah.
So I think, you've got to kind of find your security and find your path first before, well, you don't have to, but before sort of deciding where you want to be personally in your life, I think.
I love that. I'm glad that you had a moment where it was like, it's now. Because I'm scared that I'm never going to have that.
I ran out of parts.
That's what you call talent.
Oh God, can you imagine if she listens to this, she's like, basically, I'm basically there because Mummy didn't want to play any more shows. She didn't have any more parts.
She'd run out of parts to play. I love that though.
It's awful. I'm never going to let her listen to this podcast.
No. And then what would you say so far in your life?
Yeah.
What would be a career highlight so far, or a day in your career where you'd be like, I'm going to remember that forever?
Oh, there's been a few.
Well, I've got time.
Okay.
I know sharing the stage with me as well.
Sharing the stage with you, meeting Amber Davies was obviously a career highlight. Dolly Parton.
Oh, obviously. We met Dolly together. We met Dolly Parton together. We bonded on Dolly Parton.
Do you remember what happened? Do you remember what we did?
Oh, wait, hang on. Remind me.
So we met her. We were backstage at the One Show. We were about to go live on television, doing this huge opening number in front of Dolly Parton, who we were about to meet for the very first time. So there's no pressure. And we walked into this room, and Dolly was in there. And there was me, you, Brian, Bonnie, Nat. And we all had our photo taken. And then we came out, and everyone was like, oh, how was that? And you just went to me, you didn't say anything. You were so quiet. I was like, I didn't know what to say. I had nothing to say to Dolly Parton.
Did I say that to you?
And there's a video. I go, Caroline, what did you say to her? And I went, absolutely nothing. It's one of those silly videos.
Have you got that video?
Yeah, somewhere.
Please, we're going to have to send it so they can see it. Oh, yes.
Caroline, what did you say to her? And I go, nothing. I don't.
That's not like you, though, not to say anything.
I know, I was absolutely speechless. Actually,
it's Dolly Parton, though.
Yeah.
Can you believe we met Dolly Parton?
I mean, you'd already met her, of course.
I'd already met her.
To Nashville and did all your thing with her. That was amazing. What a woman. What I loved about 9 to 5 was that I didn't really know a huge amount about Dolly before that. And I didn't realise, actually, I knew she was an iconic country music, incredible singer, vocalist, writer, everything.
Yeah.
I didn't know how much she did as a human.
Yeah.
And, this amazing imagination library she's got where any kid under the age of 5 can get a book a month for free from this charity that's worldwide now that she set up.
I think she donates a lot of money a
year.
year.
She did. Well, she gave like $1 million to like the vaccine program as well in COVID.
I think she donates around about $1 million a year too.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a career highlight.
Yeah.
I've got a little diary at home from when I was a kid, and in it says you have to list your ambitions. And one of my ambitions was to play opposite Michael Ball.
Really?
Yeah. And
my gosh.
In Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, I played opposite Michael Ball, so that was quite a big deal for me.
So you basically wrote that into existence.
I did. I also I wanted to play Eponine in that list as well.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that's a little sort of magic list, really. I've tried it since. It doesn't work.
No.
It's clearly just that piece of paper that works.
Bad juju now.
Yeah, yeah. So it's almost like I'm asking for too much now.
I've never, ever done this before, but because I know Caroline so well, I have put together a little quick fire this or that game together.
Okay, go on then.
So we're going to play it.
Yeah.
You cannot think about... Don't look at my phone screen.
Okay, I'm not looking at it.
You cannot think about your answer. You just have to answer it, okay?
Oh, but is it going to be rude?
No, it's not rude, see? She thinks everything I say is rude.
No, I
but
don't.
it's
I sort of want it to be.
It's mixed.
Okay.
I can add a few if you
Go
want.
on, yeah.
Some of them are just normal like questions.
Okay.
And then some are industry questions.
Okay.
So this or that, you ready?
This or that. That.
Chocolate or crisps?
Chocolate.
Eponine or Fantine?
Fantine.
Beach or pool?
Beach.
Truly Scrumptious or Mary Poppins?
Mary Poppins.
Pizza or pasta?
Pasta.
Grease or Mamma Mia?
Grease.
Red wine or white wine?
Red.
Which is a V-Swick or 9 to 5?
9 to 5.
Friends or Sex in the City?
Friends, don't say anything. Tell anyone.
Right, this one, you cannot think about this next one. Judy Burnley or Doralee Rhodes?
That's my answer.
Oh,
I'm not picking between you and Natalie McQueen.
Yes, that was the question. That was the answer I was trying to get out of Caroline, me or Natalie McQueen. I know deep down
I love
it's
you
me.
both exactly the same, although you are Welsh. So there's a little bit of extra.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
as you can hear, Caroline is Welsh.
Can you hear it? Am I being like super
Oh
Welsh 'cause
my-
I'm talking to you?
You can tell.
See, other Welsh people can tell I'm Welsh.
Oh my
But
gosh, you've done
lots
Welsh
of people
television.
are like, how... I can't hear a Welsh accent at all, but Welsh people know.
Yeah.
We've got it.
And then I'm going to finish on asking you a question from our listeners, because basically we
Okay.
put out a box and
Yes.
they can kind of ask whatever,
Okay.
but they don't know who they're asking it to. So I'll kind of just pick one that I think is, appropriate to you.
Okay.
Growing up,
Yeah.
what was your favourite musical you remember watching?
Okay. So I went to see Les Mis when I was about 14,
Okay.
and we sat really high up in the gods, and I didn't understand it and I hated it. Isn't that terrible? So I don't feel like I can say Les Mis, even though like a year later it became my favourite because I started listening to it then and
Yeah.
fell in love with it. I think as a kid, I really enjoyed, my first show that I ever saw in London was Chess.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
As
I
a
saw
child?
like I was 11, 12, something like that, and it was on a school trip, and we went to see Chess, and the stage was incredible. It was like lit up like a chessboard, all like black and white, and it would move and turn around. It was really like
Wow.
technologically advanced, and all around the back of the stage was like TV screens, also like in a
Gosh.
chess sort of 8x8 everywhere, and they moved around as well. And
That's really advanced.
it was really, yeah, it was brilliant. I have no photographs of it, have nothing, but in my head, I can really remember so much about it because it was my first
And like how it
theatre
made you feel.
Yeah. Oh my God, I was buzzing. Absolutely buzzing.
Did you know from that moment, I want to do that?
Yeah.
Did you know from a really young age?
I think probably from about that age, from like 12 or 13, when somebody told me you could do it as a job, and it wasn't just because I did a lot of Amdram as a kid.
Yeah.
And when somebody said, oh, you can do it as a job and make a living out of it, or somewhat of a living. And I was like, oh my God, you can do it as a job. So
I'm doing it.
that was it. I was like, I'm doing that because I loved doing my Amdram.
Yeah.
And I thought if you could do that, if you could do a show, with an Amdram, you do it 1 week a year or two
Yeah.
weeks out of the year. To imagine doing that every single night. And I remember when I did my first job, we got to the end of the week and I was like, I get to do it again next week.
So
And
really,
then,
in hindsight,
like-
do you actually feel like you've never worked a day in your life?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Do you?
Sometimes. Sometimes I feel that way.
Sometimes it is a slog, isn't it? You've got to find the energy from somewhere. But I try and remember that kid that was like,
Yeah.
I want to
I
do
couldn't
that.
imagine doing anything
Yeah.
else.
No.
You know?
I
like-
know, that's the thing. Because then when jobs are scarce, I'm like, okay, maybe I should change career. Then I'm like,
No, never
I can't
change
think of
career.
anything else I would do. So you're stuck with me, I'm afraid.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
You've
you,
been
my
a,
love.
been a delight.
You
and I
too.
can't wait for the listeners to hear this because you're a ball of energy.
And kind.
And-
That's nice.
And so sweet and kind.
You're kind too.
Thank you.
Sometimes.
Right, love you. Bye.